Hello everyone, this is David Lotch again, and I'm here doing another one of my video movie reviews. Tonight I'm reviewing Shark Attack 3 The Megalodon. Terror has resurfaced again. Now, why am I doing the third one? Well, I already did a review of the first two. I didn't make a video of them, but I just wrote them out and summarized and said what I thought. So I decided I'm going to do this one as a video. And as always, I'm going to start off with the trailer, so enjoy.
It survived the Ice Age and has been living in darkness for 60 million years. Nothing has ever disturbed its perfect peace until now.
This shark isn't just some rare species. It can grow in excess of 75 feet long. It's supposed to be extinct.
You're telling me one of these things is swimming off my coast?
People pay a lot of money to come down here. They expect to use everything, including the beaches.
We've got a 60-foot shark swimming off our coast that's not going to go away. We got a shark heading for the shore.
Get everyone out of the water now. You knew something was dangerous down there and you let them dive anyway.
Go tell your story. Who would believe you? A disgruntled employee with stolen confidential documents?
We know the Meg's attracted to the cable.
If that cable goes to full power, there is no telling how many of these we're going to have on our hands.
Can't let that system go online.
Full throttle now!
Mark 44 torpedo. Blow a hole. Clears the hull of a battleship.
Alright, so that's just the trailer that you can find on YouTube for Shark Attack 3. Shark Attack 3 stars John Barrowman and Jennifer McShane, and actually reprising kind of a role who was also in the first one, Shark Attack film. What else? I think I originally saw this on TV. I've only seen it a couple times on DVD, and I'm still waiting to get it, but you can find it on Amazon, and probably for a very good, reasonable price. This is the third installment of the Shark Attack films, and unfortunately there was no Shark Attack 4, which is a shame, because I think that instead of doing some of these kind of ridiculous things like Sharktopus or Mega Shark versus Crocosaurus or something, you know, they could have just did something simple like Shark Attack 4, but then I can kind of understand, because sequels aren't really, you know, really in the time, especially for TV movies. This is directed by David Worth. I'm not very familiar with his work, but I'm sure I've probably seen it. He might have done the first one. So before I begin my outline summary of the movie, I have to explain to all you guys what a megalodon is, because a lot of you guys are not shark experts or have not seen this movie. Well, the megalodon, as you can see on this chart, is a prehistoric shark that could grow up to 70 feet long, and it basically lived around the time of the dinosaurs. So it's extinct, but some people believe that it's still alive. I don't know where a huge shark like that could hide, but hey, they pulled it off in this movie, so you never know. And as you can see on the scale, you can compare it to a common day great white, the megalodon, and it's really cool. I just think it's cool that there's something like this alive, and you look at how, I think it's really cool from somebody myself who's a shark fan, as you look at how much science has evolved and how much these creatures have evolved since the dinosaur times, and to be more sophisticated. So, Shark Attack 3 opens underwater with a guy repairing an underwater cable on the Challenger Deep Trench. It's supposedly the setting is Mexico, but I'm not sure if the Challenger Deep Trench is actually there, or is that something just made up. So, he gets an unknown object approaches him, and basically it's the giant shark, and he's swallowed whole. And you can see kind of the shark grabbing him, and you can see what's left. We're then introduced to John Barrowman's character, who kind of plays somebody who just patrols the waters on the boats, and he decides to go diving for lobsters, and he ends up coming across this apex cable, which is basically the new way of communication in this film. And he discovers a shark tooth in it, and he basically contacts, he searches the web and can't find anything about this shark tooth. I have to say personally, I don't think it's hard because I think sooner or later you come up with something. So I don't think he tries hard enough. So then we cut to the. So then he sends a picture to the San Diego Aquarium asking for help. Funny thing is you can see the picture. There's no background and the fingers don't show up. So that's something funny. We're then introduced to Jennifer McShane's character, who plays Callide Stone, a paleontologist at the in a museum where she receives this email, and she receives this email, and right away she recognizes it's the tooth of a megalodon. She decides, I'm going to come down here and I want to take a look at this. So next day, a couple people go skinny dipping, and what happens? You kind of get this false scare with the tiger shark, but the megalodon appears and kills the shark and scares the guy and girl. So then, you know, they kind of get this briefing with the sand tiger, and John Barrowman tries to match up the tooth, but it's no show. And then he meets Jennifer McShane, who says that it's a rare species of shark that stays, well, out to sea most of the time. So there's nothing to worry about. But we know different. So the next day she hires a film crew to go and document this, and things don't go as well. They don't go really bad, but it's not like a walk in the park because the shark starts attacking the boat. But eventually she's able to tag it and put a camera on it so they can trace it. The next day, later that day, a guy is playing frisbee with his dog and has to go in the water to retrieve the frisbee, where he's ripped apart by the shark. It's actually a pretty gruesome death for a TV movie. So later that night, John Barrowman confronts Jennifer McShane and says, well, you know, there's a shark attack. And this is also where we learn that Jennifer McShane lied to him, saying that she was a marine biologist and she's just really a paleontologist. And this is where we learn that the megalodon was the ancestor to the great white shark, and that, you know, it can grow up to 70 feet long, and that it's really supposed to be extinct. And they kind of have this fight, but they eventually make up, and the next day they decide to work together, and they try to she's willing to study the shark, and he's also willing to protect the beaches at the same time. It goes okay until the shark attacks a boat and eats two people and kills and swallows somebody whole right in front of Jennifer McShane's character. The next day they decide to try things again. They say, you know, we got to put the shark out. Their boat begins to start filled with water, and John Barrowman goes down to rescue Jennifer McShane and starts beating the shark up with a baseball bat. Kind of a cool way, you know, it's nice. And she ends up finding her shotgun and she shoots, and she says, well, you're extinct. So we all think it's all good, but then we learn that that was actually the baby that they killed, and Mama wasn't that far away, and she basically swallows John Barrowman's front hole. And this one's the big one. She also swallows John. The megalodon also swallows Jennifer McShane's cameraman, and almost ends up getting her, but they manage to get away. And John Barrowman has this speech now where he's like, hey, well, we gotta close the beaches. It's basically a Roy Scheider ripoff of Jaws, but hey, you know, it's still great stuff. And then, so they hatch this plan saying that they then discover that the megalodon's attracted to this underwater cable because of the underwater electricity current. And it is true, sharks are attracted to electrical currents. So they decide that they destroy this cable and they're going to attach all these explosives. We also then kind of get this scene. John Barrowman says kind of this line and, you know, ends up sleeping with her. And it's kind of basically mimics the second film. But I guess John Barrowman set off camera as a joke and they ended up using it. So the next day, the shark continues to attack a cruise boat and ends up killing the owner as well as the life rats. And the guy, Apex Commander, thinks he gets away, but basically gets swallowed whole. I mean, I would say for the second half of the film with the giant shark, it's more comedy, and I take it more serious. I mean, the baby scares me more. Eventually, they're able to kill it by blowing it up, by also self-destructing the submarine, and John Barrowman resurfaces, and they all kind of live happily ever after. The ending kind of foreshadows the ending before the credits roll. You see a shadow swimming in the water, so I guess they're trying to foreshadow a sequel. It's a shame that they never went on, because, you know, you shouldn't leave something, in my opinion. Don't put something in there and then leave it. But overall I thought this was a really good film. I would say that the acting was really good. as I just said a couple seconds earlier, I think that overall it was a good film, and that, you know, the second half of the film with the giant megalodon shark was more comedy, more comedic, and I didn't take it as seriously. I took the beginning more seriously because I love the fact that something so little can do that much damage. It's really cool. You know, I mean, the acting's really good. You know, I felt, you know, it's your typical monster movie. So if you guys want to check it out, you guys can buy it on Amazon.com. It used to be playing a lot on the Sci-Fi Channel and the USA Today. Unfortunately, it no longer will be because it was made like in 2000, so it's no film. But it's a great film if you're bored and you want to check it out. I think you can maybe even watch it on Amazon.com if you have Amazon Prime. So check it out, and have a good night, and thanks for watching my video.